Stop recording. Button. Double tap to activate.
Friday, Friday, Friday is my favorite. Friday is my favorite day. Let's finish it Friday. I'm stitching it my way. Just wanna be sitting with needles and knitting. Hello, hello, it is Finish It Friday. You know what that means. It's time to share our projects that we've worked on all week, my crafty friends. So, get your project, get your crochet, get your knitting, get your sewing, your cross stitch, whatever it is that you like to do while you listen to YouTube and podcasts. Now, if you're returning, thanks so much for choosing to come back and hang out with me. And if you're new here, my name's May, and yes, I know returning viewers, you're like, we know already. Yes, I am visually impaired, and I do try to say that in my videos for anybody who's new. That's why I know you got it already. But I just want people who are new to know why I might describe things or why it's important to me to have description on the internet. So, get your projects. You can say hello if you want in the comment section. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what you're working on while we're hanging out. Well, it is the week of Easter. Yeah, happy Easter. I'll probably be on here one more time, maybe briefly to say that, but if I don't, for whatever reason, hope you're enjoying the weekend. And you know what Easter means? That means I needed an Easter bunny around here, because Easter makes me think of Easter bunnies. I know. If you don't know yet, I live out on 5 acres, and there are wild rabbits out here. Lots of them. Now those sneaky little guys, I can't see them, and I certainly can't hear them. They are so quiet. I wish I could hear them. That's one animal. I'm like, I wish they'd make some noise, but they don't. Bunnies are so quiet. They don't make any noise. They just sort of hop around, and they are fast. Wild rabbits are fast. So the only time I ever know they're here is in the winter time. Occasionally I'll go walk around the house and I feel in the snow and there's their little bunny tracks hopping around the snow and around the house. So I do know they're here. I put my fingers in the bunny tracks. I felt the evidence. And Mr. Property Owner will tell me a lot of times, he'll say, I was turning into the driveway and I saw a rabbit. And even my dad will tell me when he's here, sitting at the breakfast table, sometimes he'll say, there's a rabbit in the driveway. So I know they're here, but I can't see them. But it does make me wonder how often they're hopping around out here and I completely miss them. So you know, I really do want to catch one. I kind of do. I'm allergic to rabbits. That's what stops me. Otherwise, I'd probably be opening up my basement garage, putting out some green beans and some lettuce and trying to trap me an Easter bunny right at me like Elmer Fudd. Ooh, be very quiet. While hunting rabbits. Yeah, I would. I'd be trying to lure them into the house. So, that's probably not a good plan. Even though I like to think about it, it's probably not a good plan. I know a lot of people want a rabbit in their house for Easter. But, you know, I'm not saying they don't make good pets, but really be thoughtful about it. They are a living creature. Rabbits can live from like 7 to 12 years. So, is your family really ready for that kind of commitment? Is your child ready to give them fresh water and food every day like any other pet? Dogs, cats, you got to give them water and food every day. And they poop. Don't forget that. Yeah. So, not every kid's ready for that. I know people love to get kids rabbits for Easter, and then they all get dumped at shelters. It's like July and August, and the family wants to go on vacation, and they don't have plans for the rabbit, so they dump them off. So, I'm not saying don't. I think they make wonderful pets. I think that they can be house trained, so they're hopping around your house. They can be free-range bunnies, right, to use a litter box, but don't get one unless you're truly ready for, like, you know, a 12-year commitment and the daily care of an animal. So, as much as I want an indoor rabbit, it's mostly the allergies. I don't mind caring for animals. It's the allergies. So I thought, though, I should go on the internet because I knit and crochet, right? And if you don't know yet, I've been crocheting for less than a year, and I'm not very good at it yet. And I talk about it every time I talk about amigurumi. I'm like, I'm not good at it. I really don't know why I keep trying. I have no idea why I keep trying, because I never do well at it. But I remember Glenda from Creative Grandma was talking about the Premier Yarns bunny made out of the parfait chunky fruits. And if you haven't seen it yet on my channel, I did make the blanket, the 6-pointed star blanket designed by Sarah Satch. I've said her name wrong before when I talked about the blanket. I said Sarah Satch. I'm so sorry, Sarah. It is Sarah Satch. Sarah Satch Crochets, who designed it. It's a free tutorial on her channel. I made mine in dragon fruit. Hers only uses 2 cakes of yarn, but of course, hers was for a baby, and I made mine for me. So I went with 4 cakes of dragon fruit, which, if you're blind or visually impaired, I'm completely colorblind. If you don't know that, dragon fruit, I really didn't know what color it was, but it sounded fun. It's a pink. It's pink, and it's got this spotted pink with the seeds. So fun. So I love this yarn. It is like velour. It is soft. It is snuggly. And I remember Glenda saying she did tutorials on the Premier Fruits bunny, and I thought, well, that is such a perfect yarn for a big plushie, right? A big stuffed toy. Wouldn't that be soft? And so you know that yarn comes in like 6 colors. My blanket's in dragon fruit. Well, I got some grape here in the cake. And look at how big these cakes are. I can't tell you the yardage on it because I can't see it right now. But it is, oh, I know it's over 200. It's a big thing. It's this number 6. I know that. It's a number 6. It's super bulky. I know it's 100% polyester. And I know it's over 200 yards, but I honestly can't remember the exact number. Should have looked that up for y'all. But it comes in, let's see, it comes in watermelon, grape, apple, orange, banana, dragon fruit, blueberry, and I think kiwi. So I got the cake of grape still in my house. I got the dragon fruit, and I did have some in blueberry. And I thought, wouldn't that be cute? A blueberry bunny, right? So, of course, I went and Googled Creative Grandma Premier Fruits Yarn Bunny. And it is a 6-part tutorial. Wow. Glenda did an amazing job with them. She put so much time into them. It is one for the body that's over an hour long, one for the head over an hour long, one on the ears, one on the arms, one on the legs. The last one's the tail and assembly, right? Some assembly required, right? So if I think about it, I will try to put the link to the very first part in the description box so you can get started with that if I can figure out how to do that. And remember, but if not, just Google Creative Grandma Premier Yarns Bunny and you'll get it. Start with part 1 and she'll walk you through it. She puts so much time into those. Those are amazing. They are good tutorials. Really, she does so thorough. If you're new to crochet, she's one of the best people I'd say to start with. And if you're blind or visually impaired, her tutorials are so good to follow. She teaches at a nice pace. She goes over it about 3 times, row by row. She talks you through the stitches. So she's a very, very descriptive teacher. So I knew if anybody was going to be able to walk me through a bunny, it was going to be Glenda, okay? So now, there's nothing wrong with her tutorials at all. But I do have to tell you, before I show you my bunny, the only reason I'm going to show you mine is because I can try to give you a few pointers of what went wrong with my bunny, okay? My bunny's so ugly, even my mom's like, ooh, so ugly, you gotta love him, right? So he does look like not a bunny, but I can give you a few pointers on how to help you so your mom doesn't call you a bunny ugly. Okay, so but I am going to show it because I want to try to give a few suggestions, especially if you're listening, if you're visually impaired, if you can't see the screen very well, give you a few pointers so that yours does hopefully look more like a bunny than mine. And also, the reason I'm going to share mine, even though I kind of don't want to because it's pretty bad, is because I know that, Crystal from Bago Day, right? I think she's probably the most creative, most talented crocheter out there on YouTube. And I look at her work and I'm just like, wow, what an artist, right? What a creative mind. But I remember when I was struggling to crochet and struggling with amigurumi, I'll say it again, it is not my strength. I'm not good at it. I don't know why I keep trying. But she was trying to make a chicken. And her chicken didn't turn out right. And she showed it to us. And I was like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Even one of the best crocheters on YouTube, one of the most talented crocheters on YouTube, doesn't always get it right? Because when I'm first learning how to crochet, I don't always get it right. I make a lot of mistakes. And when I was first learning how to knit, I made a lot of mistakes. If you don't know, I knit and crochet, right? So I, in the learning process, make a lot of mistakes. And it was just such a breath of fresh air when she showed us on YouTube, her chicken that didn't turn out right. And I was like, oh, thank God. One of the most talented people out there who's been crocheting for decades, right? For decades. Still doesn't always get it right. Krista from Secret Yarnery, I know she was trying to design a heart granny square one time, and she had like a stack of like not quite right, nope, not right, like her prototypes, her practice ones, her her just a stack of squares that she'd worked with through her design process. And so when she showed us that, I was like, oh, thank God. Once again, it's such a relief because Krista's super, super talented too. If you don't watch Secret Yarnery, she's got some great patterns, great tutorials. So it really helps me because a lot of people only want to show their perfect work. And that's okay. That's okay. But when people are learning, sometimes they can really get discouraged if theirs doesn't look like everybody else's, right? Or if they make a mistake, or if they get it wrong. And some people even quit altogether. They'll quit crochet. And if you can tell, I'm not quitting, right? I don't know why I don't quit with amigurumi, but I don't quit yet. But a lot of people do because they don't get it right. And I don't want, if you want to do it, I don't want people to quit. So, and there are people who are so good at amigurumi, and beautiful pieces, people who can literally sell their pieces at markets and really truly make a living at a good amigurumi. So mine is made out of the number 6, super bulky. Yeah, use a 5.5 millimeter hook, and that's one thing I'm going to talk about with mine. So here he is. I'm going to let you see him. He is a really ugly, like, hybrid kind of dog bunny. Here he is. We've named him Baxter. Baxter the we don't know what. Yeah. So mine, the nose. I got the nose, I think, in the wrong place. Glenda said to put the nose in at row 11. And so I do got fingers. I got 8 fingers, 2 thumbs, and a brain. And I should have put more thought into my nose, okay? So she said to put the nose up at row 11. And what I did is I put the bottom of the nose on row 11. And when I think about it now, when I look at mine, I think she probably put the top of her nose at row 11. And if you can see, you can probably see what she was doing. But if you can't see, and you're watching this and you're trying to do, I would definitely say put the top of the nose at row 11. And I believe she did say don't overstuff the nose. But of course, I didn't listen. I really, really, really overstuffed my nose, and it's huge, and it's like my mom says, like a big bulbous nose, big pointy nose. So don't overstuff it. And you could even probably go down a hook size on the nose. That's one thing, because I play with hook size a lot. And when I design, like with knitting or crochet, I change up hook size a lot. Just to give things shape and flair. I do it on hats and skirts and dresses when I knit. So new to crochet. But even like the shorts, I'm wearing these black knit shorts. They're knit, and then I put the crochet trim on, and I increase the hook size for the ruffle, that kind of thing. So I love to play with hook size. So why I didn't do that on his nose to help him out, I don't know. That should have occurred to me, was maybe drop my hook size down to a 5mm so that the nose isn't so big, okay? So that would be my recommendation, is make sure the top of the nose is at 11, don't overstuff it, and maybe drop your hook size down. He is supposed to have the big tummy. My mom was like, he's got a bear belly, and that is part of the pattern. You do 2 rows of increases for the tummy, and then 2 rows of decreases. So if you don't want yours to have the big chubby, I think chubby bunnies are cute, right? I mean, there's a cuteness factor with that, I think. So my mom thinks it's a bear belly, but I think there's a cuteness factor with his tummy. So I don't mind it, but if you don't want that look, you could probably just omit it, right? You could leave it out. You don't have to give yours that look. And he does have a cute little tail on him, right? The tail, I think that's cute. I like the little tail. So he's big and he's round and he's chubby, and I think he's got a cute little tummy on him. I don't care what Grandma says, right? We don't care, right, Baxter? So I think we're going to name him Baxter. Baxter Blue. He might be blue because his grandma thinks he's ugly. So he might be blue. I kind of almost think like we got coyotes out here. Like, for real. Coyotes. You know, and they howl. I can hear them. So I almost think I should give him like a little bonnet, and he could be like the big bad wolf or something in disguise, right? He could be like, grandmother, what a big nose you have. And he could be like, the better to smell you with, my dear, right? So he could be like the big bad wolf bunny in disguise or something. So I could do that for him. I could give him like a little hat, and he could be the big bad wolf bunny in disguise with his giant nose. That's a possibility. So those are just my thoughts on how to have better success with your bunny than me. Yeah, and I'm not good. Like, his ears aren't sewn on straight. Like, I got one ear up higher than the other. No matter what I do, and I feel and I recheck. And I do count. She said count to the 3rd. You want to sew the ears on between row 3 and row 4. And I did count, and I still couldn't get them to match up. Like, I felt the top of his head, and I counted from the center out to 3 rows in between, and I still ended up. That is so hard for me. But that's the nice thing. If you're visually impaired and you want to start out doing amigurumi, and you struggle with getting the placement of the parts, that's what's really nice about this number 6 yarn, is that you can feel the rounds. Like, you can clearly feel. It's pretty easy for me to feel 1, 2, 3, and you can pretty clearly feel where 3 and 4 are. So you know how to kinda, like I said, I don't know how I still ended up messing that up, but I did. So I got one ear higher than the other. That is, like, I don't know, with amigurumi, that is so hard for me because I never quite seem to get the parts sewed on evenly. Like my critters, never quite symmetrical. So, I don't know if there's any hope for me in the amigurumi, or if I'll just maybe go back to sticking to shorts and skirts and clothing, because I do better, right? I can design my shorts. I design these myself, design them in my head, knit them up, do the crochet, and I think they turned out good. They didn't quite turn out how I wanted, but they did turn out good. They're super comfy. I know my strengths, right? Shorts and skirts, that's my strength. Amigurumi, not so much. So it's okay. But I hope that if you're wanting an Easter bunny in your home, whether it's for you or your kids or like me, and you're really tempted to lure and trap the wild rabbits that are hanging around your place, and you know you shouldn't do that, right? I know that I shouldn't try to put out food and lure the wild bunnies into my home, even though I want to, even though they're soft and they're cuddly and I know they're hopping around, and even though I just know they'd be really fun for me to touch, they'd probably bite me too, because they're wild. And who knows what kind of diseases they got, right? So to keep me from trying to lure in the wild rabbits, I just knew I needed a plush bunny in the house. So I think we're going to call him Baxter, but I'm not positive yet. Like I said, he might get a bonnet and be that big bad wolf in disguise, because he's kind of more of a dog, my mama says. So we might do that. We might let him be incognito with his big nose. We're not sure. But if you need a squishable, lovable bunny, I think it's a good pattern to try. I think he's big and I think he's squishy with his big belly. I think this yarn is super soft and plushy. I think the colors, I'm not a yellow person, but if you like bright sunny yellow, I think that'd be a fun color. Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there. So, but there's also lots of other fun bunny patterns. I know I really didn't check any others out because I just knew if anybody could walk me through it, it was gonna be Glenda. And she did amazing. Six videos to get that bunny done. So I want to share that, promote that, say Happy Easter, give you some ideas, give you a few tips to learn from my experience, and also to say, I don't always get it right. So if you're new to crochet or knitting, right, and you're like, ooh, I didn't turn out how theirs did, right? That was always me in school. I was like, mine didn't quite turn out like everybody else's. That was me all the time. I was still like the island of misfit toys, right? We're a couple of misfits, right? That was me in school. So, mine didn't always turn out like everybody else's because I couldn't see what we were doing in school. I was mainstreamed in public school, couldn't see what was happening. So me and Baxter, we're a couple of misfits. So if you're out at home and you're knitting and you're crocheting, and whether it's amigurumi or whether it's your first dish towel, or whether you're like, okay, I'm gonna move from dish towel to scarf, right, or hat or whatever, if your first projects don't turn out like everybody else's, it's okay. It is. If you enjoy it, then just keep stitching, right? You'll learn from it, right? I learned from mine. Boy, did I learn. So just take everything like we would in life, right? Everything's a learning opportunity. So as long as I learned something from this, which I did, I don't think I'd make it again, just because I don't know. Even knowing what I know, I don't know if like I said, I don't know if I'll do amigurumi anymore. But did I learn? Absolutely. And I got a bunny. So I think that's all that I have to say about that. I hope that was helpful. I hope it gave you a few pointers. I hope it gave you a fun project to check out, especially if you love the Premier yarn. If you love this Premier yarn fruits, where did my cake go? Hang on. Okay, there it is. If you love this stuff, if you love the parfait chunky fruits, if you just love the soft squishiness of this velour and you want to make something soft and squishy out of it, yeah, it's a good yarn. I got the grape and I'm still trying to decide what to do with it because I just love it so much. So always on the lookout for projects to make with it. So anyways, I think that's the video for today. So if you have any questions or comments or things you want to say, have you worked with the Premier Yarn Parfait Chunky Fruit Yarn before? Have you? Do you love the feel of it? Oh my gosh, I love the feel of it. Soft and squishy. Have you worked with it before? Have you done amigurumi before? If you're visually impaired, I think it's great because it's a number 6. And so it's easy to feel. Even doing amigurumi, you can feel the stitches. That's my hard thing. When I start working with even the 4 yarns for amigurumi, you've got to work with really small hooks. That's my problem, why I'm not very good at it yet, because I'm still trying to work with bigger hooks. And so my projects end up not looking right. So, but you really got to work with like a 4mm or a 3mm to get really nice amigurumi with the smaller yarns, versus with the number 6, you can still get away with the 5.5mm. So you can feel the stitches. So if you're visually impaired like me and you have to crochet by feel, right? If you have to do it by feel, then I think this is a great project to try out. So yeah, say hello, got questions or comments or things about crochet or knitting, visual impairments, whatever, you can certainly leave them down there. I might answer it. There's a lot of things I don't know, though, in this world, too. I'm just saying, if you got random questions, I probably don't know, okay? There's lots of stuff I still don't know in this world. But hey, you can certainly say hello. And remember, creativity is for everybody, whether you see or you see like me, which is not so much, or you don't see at all. Creativity is for you. And whether it's knitting or crocheting or sewing or quilting or beading or sculpting or painting or whatever it is that you do to create, whatever it is, however you express yourself, today is a great day to craft and create. Thanks so much for stopping by. Hope you're having a great weekend. This should be posted on Saturday, so hopefully you're having a great Easter weekend, whatever you do. Until next time, bye-bye.